Hello, welcome to another episode of Growing the Game podcasts. I'm Kweku Kelly, and I have with me here Lisa, who is going to be my co-host for today. Welcome, sir, and it's great to have you on this episode 8 again.
Thank you, Kwaku, for the invite. Always great to be co-piloting with you in growing the game of basketball on this continent. And hi to the viewers.
Yeah, so I think today is going to be an exciting episode, and we're just going to look at some few news around basketball surrounding the African continent. I would like to look at the FIBA U19 World Cup that it just ended for the men and the upcoming World Cup, which will start on the 12th. I think that's on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. For the ladies, U19 World Cup as well. And then we'll look at the Afro women's baskets, which will be coming up in Cote d'Ivoire. And then we channel our energy into discussing about the domestic leagues on the continent as well. So I think we should just go straight to the point where we can start to talk about the U19. We all saw what happened or what went on in Switzerland. So what's your take on the U19 men's game, where we had two African teams compete in that section?
Well, the team I expected a lot from was Mali, especially given how they had performed in 2019, where they made it all the way to the final, which was the first for an African team at international level. But sadly, they did not live up to expectation. I think maybe it must have been either the coach working with the personnel that he had, or maybe it exposed the limitations of the coach of Mali in that tournament. I don't know. But yeah, it was one of the, I really expected a lot from Mali. With Cameroon, it being their debut tournament, well, with them, the surprising thing was that after such a great run in the U18 Afrobasket last year in South Africa, they made a drastic change to coaching personnel and playing personnel. So I think that's why they probably struggled. When I spoke to a coach based here in South Africa, he pointed that aspect, especially that chemistry cannot be bought. It's something that has to be worked on. So that was probably why Cameroon finished fourth. I don't know if they could have finished better if, yes, they had kept Kevin Mwese and most of the players that had qualified, made it to the final last year in the Afrobasket. And then, continued the process in the under 19 World Cup. Like I said, who knows what could have happened if that was the case.
Yes. Looking at their groups also, I think it's fair to say we weren't expecting much from the African continent, though maybe we might keep our hopes high supporting them. But to be realistic, to be on the realistic side, we knew it was going to be a tough matchup for them in that competition, because if you look at the likes of Mali, they were in a group where they had New Zealand, they had Argentina, and they had Serbia. They came out very well in their first game by winning Serbia, which was like a surprise package to the world. Like the world spoke about this win for Mali for quite some time.
Yeah.
And going forward, we saw them losing to New Zealand, we saw them losing to Argentina, and we didn't understand what was actually going wrong with the team.
I think for me, probably the thing that was pointed out was that their run and gun style of basketball was probably not effective for a tournament of that level, magnitude, like the World Cup, where you play high IQ teams. That's what they came up against against teams like New Zealand and Argentina. They had probably studied them from their previous victory against Serbia. I think they had caught the Serbian team by surprise, even though it was a narrow win for Mali. They had, it was a surprise attack. And, it showed again in games like against New Zealand that, once they lock in defensively and, set themselves up well in offense, that Mali stood no chance. So that was especially against the run and gun style of basketball, teams have adjusted. They've also become more athletic, also balancing that with good basketball IQ.
Fair enough. But I think preparation wise also Mali, we didn't see much of them in terms of preparation to this World Cup tournament. And As I said earlier, we weren't expecting anything much from them, but they gave us hope after their first win. But
Yes.
it is what it is. It is what it is. When we look at Cameroon's group also. It was one of the toughest group, if I may say, where they had USA, Australia, and France in their group. Unfortunately, they couldn't get any win in their group. They lost all the games. And the recruitment they
Yeah.
made, bringing players from Germany, the States, and stuff, I'm still shocked. How? How didn't they pull the string? Is it the lack? Is it the lack of chemistry in the team, or is it a new phase that didn't gel with the whole team, or what happened to Cameroon?
I think we need to be honest that the group was always going to be tough. The United States, that's the home of basketball. They are the they came in as reigning champs and they defended the title. So, they're to be thing to expect Cameroon to beat the United States with they've been overly ambitious. Then France, probably one of the contenders for the tournament, but yeah, they fell off at I think the quarterfinal stage. Yeah, they were not. Cameroon was never gonna beat them too, and Australia. Those are countries with strong basketball setups. And then yes, of course, the chemistry part where you demote the coach that got you to the tournament, Kevin Mwese, and bring in Steve Chiangang. I think that was probably going to be an issue going into the tournament and bringing in another 5 or 6 players that have never played with this the group that had qualified. So I think that was always going to be a problem too. So yeah, as I said earlier, chemistry cannot be brought. It's something it cannot be bought. It is worked on. So yeah, that's why Cameroon ultimately failed.
But I think we saw videos where we saw Cameroon had a decent preparation going to this tournament, where we saw the team in Italy playing some games and stuff. They dominated in those games they played outside, but in the tournament they just fell short of the glory. I don't know. And do you think Africa
Maybe
is
it's
given
the
the
type.
stage?
I
Yeah, you
mean,
can
if
come.
Mali made it in 2019, yeah, they've made it. I think what stops the rest of the continent from, also being ambitious and getting that far. I think it's how you prepare. It's also in terms of the talent that you have at the time as well. Where unlike the United States obviously have a conveyor belt of talent in basketball, so they will always be a favorite going into these tournaments. Whereas France as well, they've dipped a little bit, they've dipped quite a lot from the African continent. So, and they've also strengthened their basketball system. So that's why they've become a competitive nation. Australia as well, they've always had a competitive, a strong basketball system as well in that country. That's why you see them, and obviously, uh, a little bit of South Sudanese influence there has also helped them quite a bit. So yeah, so those are some of the factors that lead some of these that keep some of these nations strong. While Cameroon, they've only recently started coming into junior competitions. They've never really it it seems from what I've seen from them, there'd never been such a strong interest from them. But now they have seen that yes, there is value from these competitions, getting players to understand the international game early on, and also given the fact that a lot of players, young players, Joel Embiid when he was young, he never got an opportunity to play for Cameroon. Luckily, his talent was spotted at BWB, and yes, he made his way to the United States. The likes of Christian Koloko as well, the Eve Missis of this world, Pascal
See you
Siakams,
come, yeah.
they've never played for their country at youth level. So it's just by sheer luck that their talents got spotted and they managed to make it across the Atlantic. Only players like now Orich Chomche, he's
Mhm.
gotten the chance to play for Cameroon, although at senior level.
Yeah.
So I think they are beginning to see that yes, they need to give the youngsters a chance so that they have a good crop of players that can compete for them at.
Before we move away from the U19 World Cup, for the men's going to the women, do you think Do you think Africa invests more into the grassroots basketball on the continent?
I think it's something we need to start doing. I mean, countries like Mali have fully invested in it. Yes, quite a lot. I think, like I said, sometimes it's the crop of player that you have at the time that can probably, and how you what are able to get the best of that talent at that time to get you as far as you can. Countries like Egypt as well, they invest quite a lot. A country like Rwanda, it invests. Angola always invests in their talent. So yeah, Africa does invest in it. Times, yeah, it's sometimes what the talent that you have at the time as well. And maybe one we could learn one or two things from countries like the United States, France, Australia, in how they get themselves ready. So we can replicate that, and maybe it can also lead to the continent being successful. But once again, Mali was an example that it can be done.
That's good to hear, and I hope we put more efforts into the grassroots because that's the future of basketball in Africa.
Yes,
The
correct.
the
No,
yeah,
no doubt.
that's the future. Moving away from the men's section of the U19 World Cup, we want to channel our focus on the U19 Women's World Cup, which will be starting on Saturday. And we still have two African countries there who qualified from the U18 Afrobasket here in South Africa and made their way through to the World Cup in the likes of Nigeria and Mali as well again, representing in the women's side. What do you make of this World Cup for the ladies as
I
well?
think before we begin the analysis, I don't know if you got this from the Mali Federation that they might not participate in the tournament because their team hasn't gotten their visas to enter the Czech Republic. So there's an issue there. I think
It's
what
crazy.
a little bit of diplomacy needs to be exercised where calls are made to make sure that these young girls get the opportunity that they worked so hard for. But yeah, if they do make it, I think Mali, they are in a tough group. They're against Brazil, France,
France and
and
Australia. Australia.
Australia. So yeah, that's gonna be a tough group for them to navigate. I mean, countries like Australia and France are very strong. Brazil is also on the come up. Yeah, we'll see what this Malian team is made of. It's not as talented as I think, in my opinion, it's not as talented as the last one that played in the last under 19 World Cup. Although you have a player like Rocky Abert who's coming back for her second World Cup, maybe the team can lean a little bit on her experience. They've got the MVP from the under 18 women's Afrobasket, Uma Komaro. She is also a talented player. So yeah, those are maybe you can look to those players to lead Mali's charge to try and make it compete against these strong nations, Australia, Brazil, and France. And then coming to Nigeria,
Yeah.
do you want to say something on Mali first before I go to Nigeria?
For me, I think yeah, as you said, it's a tough group for Mali. This won't be the first for them, but I think they've been there and they know how it is. Though they are going with a new set of squad, but I think the feeling of they been there before won't would be a motivation to them going into this one as well. Though it's a group, it's a good group they are. It's I think the group fits them well. It's going to be a test for them. But uh my problem is far away from this group thing. How did the federation not fix things for the players to get the
Yeah,
visa?
it's a question I also ask myself. I mean, like, they knew many months ago that that they are going to a World Cup. So how did
Exactly.
they now not be able to, know that, yes, this is probably the type of visa that you need to enter this
Exactly.
country, or this is, yes. So I think somebody slept on the wheel, and yeah,
Because
hopefully, yeah,
as we speak,
accounts to the federation why that the girls are not getting this opportunity of a lifetime. It's very sad for them that yeah, that kind of news prior to just a few days before the tournament starts, they get that news that they won't be able to travel.
yeah, because this
Hopefully things get to
this is actually going to affect the players physically and mentally as well because
yes.
They had to travel. They
Yes,
are going to,
definitely.
if they are going to be able to get it in this time frame, they are going to be delayed in getting to Czech Republic, and fatigue will set into the team because of the traveling. And I don't know, hey, Africa has a problem because as we speak, Nigeria is
I
already in
think,
Czech.
yeah, man, it was the same thing with the Nigerian national team last year at the Afrobasket, where you found that the boys' team had arrived late, and also the girls' team, I think, did arrive late, But, luckily for the girls, they managed to get to the final, and yeah, they have already traveled and they are there. So it's something that, African federations need to start prioritizing the game,
Mhm.
and also making sure that the youth get these opportunities. I mean, they are the future of the game, and
Exactly.
for them to be denied these opportunities is criminal. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's very
again,
bad.
yeah, somebody has somebody has slept in the wheel and has to account to the federation why this is the case.
Anyways, we pray the girls get their visas and they are being able to be able to make it to Czech Republic to participate in this World Cup. But anyways, I see their group to be a quite interesting group, and maybe they can. I feel
This
they
is
can pull some strings. They can pull some strings in this group if they really fight for it. I think
Mali.
Mali can pull some strings in this group, knowing that Brazil is also an upcoming country developing their basketball in terms in the nation, like nationally, not but in their leagues are running well, but nationally they are now building a good system coming up. So I think they will be on the same page with Mali, and yeah, the only problem Mali will encounter is Australia and France. If
Yeah,
their men's team could beat Serbia, anything is possible, I believe. So yeah, yeah. Let's move to the
yeah.
Nigerian group. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, the Nigerian team were finalists last year, obviously lost to Mali. I think the player to look out for there is Ibudamo Begi. She's played professionally in Nigeria for MFM Queens and Cameroon's FAP. So she's got that senior experience. So, and especially playing on this continent where there's a lot of hard knocks. So
Yeah,
she will go in with that experience in in what's this, the Czech Republic. And then there's also Abigail Isaac as well, a leading rebounder for Nigeria at last year's Afrobasket, also a player for MFM Queens. So those two players Nigeria can lean on as well. They're in a group where against Canada, China, and Portugal. I think they are in a group that they can easily navigate. I think they can fancy their chances against Portugal and possibly China. I don't see them beating Canada. Also, their state of readiness will determine how far they go in this tournament.
no, well, you see, in this group, I feel it's going to be a tough test for Nigeria. Very, very tough. Taking China into consideration, these ladies or these people are very fast on the court. They don't have the height
Yeah,
advantage, so they use the pace to their advantage, and
yeah,
it's going to be a problem. But let's see how the girls will react to China. But for Canada, Canada is a powerhouse in that group. They are
yeah,
all day powerhouse in that group with lots of motivation from their federation and training and stuff. And these ladies, of the Canadian ladies are in top flights, colleges and high schools and stuff. So yeah, we can't take that from them. But I think, yeah, as you said, they can navigate their way throughout with Portugal. They can navigate their way with Portugal. We've not heard much of them on the in terms
yeah.
of nationally in terms of basketball. I think yeah they can also do something. Yeah, it's going to we can't say. I always like to predict after the whole event is ended. Then I'll
Sometimes we have to put our money where our mouths are, man. Sometimes we can't straddle because we know what the situation is from analyzing how the teams play here on this continent and
yeah
also measuring them against some of the the top nations, we can determine how far we can go. I mean, we know the challenges that this continent face, even
Yeah.
though we always hold hope that our teams do well. But I think we can always, predict, this is gonna be a win or a loss for a Nigeria, a Cameroon, or a Senegal or
Oh yeah,
Mali.
yeah, that's true. That's true. But I think I see Nigeria and Mali going to the. I can foresee Mali getting to the semifinals and Nigeria probably the quarterfinals of this tournament. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I see. Wow.
Oh
Is this
well,
a
I don't
prediction?
know. Like, yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know. Based on what? Well, Mali, I'm just saying on the talent that they had in the last World Under 18 and comparing it to this one, I'm not sure. Maybe their coach, Diakite Sori, who's also very experienced at this level, might have something up his sleeve. Who knows? Uh, as for, yes, Nigeria, as I said, they might fancy their chances, and also they probably can determine how far they go in this tournament.
The reason why I said so is because when you take Mali into consideration, Mali is doing very well when it comes to the grassroots level in basketball. Like they
Yes,
do well
correct.
going into international stages and stuff. They are doing excellently well. Whereas in Nigeria, we can't say it's the same for them because Nigeria's basketball is being built more on the diaspora. You get it?
Correct.
Yeah, they are built more on the
Yes,
diaspora.
yes.
Even if you go to Nigeria, you see most of their youths play to get to the states to play in high schools and stuff. So they don't focus much on the nation playing in the country or like focusing based on the national level in the country. It's all about going to the diaspora and stuff. Even we see it in their national team, the senior level. So that's my reason of stating things
I
that way.
mean, and just to piggyback on your point is that, we saw with the BAL how many, locally based players got their chance at playing, and they didn't do that great because, yes, there's probably structural issues domestically in
Exactly.
Nigeria.
Exactly,
Correct.
exactly. So yeah, we wish Nigeria and Mali the best in this. The boys didn't put up any good result for us to talk about, but I hope the ladies will change the scenario and give us something good to talk about moving forward.
Yeah.
Let's be let's look at the women's Afro basketball, which will be happening in Cote d'Ivoire.
Yeah.
Yeah, another exciting
Yeah.
tournament for Africa. Whereas we all know when we talk about Afro basketball, is the African Cup of basketball.
Yeah.
So this year I think this year is going to be a interesting one for me. I think it's going to be very interesting with the new faces or the new teams we're seeing and the way the rosters are coming up, and we are seeing some recruitment and stuff level wise. I think it's going to be interesting. I don't know what you think about it though.
Maybe don't expect any surprises. I think the old order will remain the same of countries like Nigeria, Senegal, and Mali being the dominant teams at this tournament. Who will take that fourth semi-final spot? Maybe a country like Rwanda, Angola, Mozambique, and who else? Maybe Uganda might surprise many a nation because we saw them beat Senegal at the last Afrobasket.
Mm,
So they are a team on the rise. We saw them do extremely well in the zone 5 qualifiers of the
in
Afrobasket. So
Cairo.
I think that's a nation probably to look out for in this Afrobasket. Other than that, I think as I said, Mali, Nigeria are probably everyone's favorite. They will also lean a lot on their diaspora as always. They are coming as defending champions, led by astute coach in Rena Wakama, the first woman to win the Afrobasket. So
Basket, yeah.
that they yes, so they are probably gonna be champions before they even walk on the court. And then you have your Senegal. I think they were losing finalists in 2023. They have a very strong team.
Mhm.
The likes of Sierra Dillard, naturalized, born in America, naturalized by Senegal. She will be their floor general. She did very well for them in 2023. A player who is very well versed on continental basketball, having won what's this AWBL with Sporting Alexandria of Egypt. She was an MVP of 2023. Then you have a player like Yassine Diop, hasn't really set the scene alight for Senegal. Had two good tournaments. When was this? Was it in 2020? Oh yeah, 2021 Afrobasket, 13 points per game in 2021, and then also in the 2024 World Cup qualifying tournament, 19 points per game. Yeah, maybe this time around, this may be the tournament where we see her lead Senegal to the promised land. Hopefully, they can, dethrone Nigeria. But again, we know this Nigerian team, players like Amy Okonkwo, who plays out in France for Club Bourges. She's a two-time Afrobasket winner, two-time Olympian,
Yeah.
was part of that Olympics team in Paris that made it to the quarterfinals, the
Quarterfinals,
first
yeah.
for any African nation. Yeah, Promise Amukamara, a player who also plays in France, a two-time Afro-basket champ, two-time Olympian as well, played at the World Cup as well. Zinnek Alu, Afro-basket three-time champion,
Yeah.
two-time Olympian,
Yeah.
World Cup participant as well. So there's a lot of experience within this Nigerian team over the year it has amassed a lot of experience over the years. So that's probably why they'd be anybody's favorite going into this Afrobasket. And then, Mali, yeah, of course, they have also been a strong one of the contenders of this tournament with a player like Sika
Sige
Kone, who
Koni,
plays
yeah.
for Washington Mystics. Yes, correct. Yes, she was what 12 points per game in the last Afrobasket, 12 points at the World Cup qualifiers last year. Still 22 years old, so she has a lot of upside to her. And then you have Maimuna Haidara, a player who led Mali to the what under 18 Afrobasket championship in Madagascar 2 years ago. Her and Kamite Dabu, they'll probably be that young. This will they've also had what experience in the senior level, played in the last World Cup for women, and also Afrobasket at senior level in 2023. So hopefully this can be their breakout tournament in Cote d'Ivoire.
Yeah, that's a lot to take in. But, I think what you said
Mm.
is true, and there's nothing to change there because coming from the side of Senegal and Nigeria, it's going to be pack of experienced players. Nigeria and Senegal are coming with experienced players. That's the only thing that changed the scenario from the other teams because yeah. Now Mali like this, I don't know if they are going to still have CK Kone in the team this year because the WNBA is still in progress. So I don't know how they're going to work around it. And as you said, Dallard is going to be. Is it Dallard is going to be a powerhouse for Senegal with this
Yes,
Indioma
yes, yes,
Indioma Kone of Al Ali. She's also a promising player
yes.
and a very strong force in the team. So yeah, we can expect some. We're not going to be expecting any surprises from Nigeria and Senegal because we all know what they are coming with to this tournament. Yeah, I won't lie to you.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, we know they are going to come strong
yeah,
because it's more like the rivalries between Senegal and Nigeria when it comes to Afro.
yeah.
So that rivalry is going to continue.
I don't know. Well, Mali will always want to have a shout of who goes to the final, depending on their route to, because the route, there'll always be a strong contender. They could spring a surprise, who knows? But yeah, other than that, the three teams that we've mentioned, and who else? Between Rwanda, Uganda, Angola, what's this, and Mozambique. I think those countries will fight it out for that fourth semi-final spot. I don't know if there will be another country that can surprise us in this tournament.
Cameroon, don't you think Cameroon has what it takes to surprise us?
Yeah. They are another dark horse. I think who's this with
Monique
Ahmed
is there.
Mbonjoya? He led them. Yeah, and I don't know if they have their player Dulci Funkam
Hmm.
as well. She could be a factor. They also have, is it Ewodo, one of the key players as well. So, yeah, Cameroon could do something. I don't know. Depends on what. Probably the key player there is Dolce Funkam. I think she's a WNBA player for them. And, if she's becomes available, that probably is a game changer for them.
Yeah, exactly. What of Egypt? You don't see Egypt also pulling surprises in this tournament.
Not really. I don't know. I don't think they have what it takes, especially having seen them at the qualifiers in Zone 5, where Uganda topped them. Uh, they beat them in their own home countries. Yes, they have strong clubs at this in the women's competition, but at national team level, I think a lot of countries are just a few notches above them. So I don't think Egypt can really, do anything significant. Maybe get to the quarterfinals. Yeah, that's probably the best they'll do.
But don't forget one thing. There is one thing about Africa when it comes to sports. We don't judge the main tournaments with the qualifiers performance or performance from the qualifier because this
Yeah.
just surprises us. One thing I've come to believe is the moment you judge the team's performance for what they produce in the qualifiers, you'll be surprised because they come into the tournaments a whole different team which you won't even understand.
Now, for me, I think it's a kind of a measuring stick. Of course, yeah, the actual tournament itself is a different, beast. But the qualifiers kind of tell you who's where at this point in African basketball.
Okay, moving on. What do you think of South Sudan, who came into this tournament with a wild card spot? What do you make of them? They've got a good setup there also, though this will be their first time participating. How do you see them going? Do you think they'll go far in this tournament?
Yeah, they're a country that's also dipped into its diaspora and trying to do something great in this tournament. I remember speaking to Adut Bulgak. She was saying that they are coming to Cote d'Ivoire to go to compete, but there are other countries that are, very far ahead. Uganda, we saw them compete against Uganda at the Zone 5 games. Uganda was is very far ahead is the top nation in that zone. So we'll see. Maybe how they prepare themselves for this tournament will be a telling factor. But I don't know. I don't think what they'll produce the kind of result that the men produced in think they have been producing in previous World Cup qualifiers and making it to the Olympics as well. Not this generation. I think it's a country that's still very much in the process of building, and yeah, no, they need to focus on that. And in a couple of years' time, maybe they might have a say on what in terms of continental competition.
Okay. Moving away from South Sudan, I want us to look into the host nation as well, which is Cote d'Ivoire. Cote d'Ivoire hasn't been too
Yeah.
good when it comes to the women's side, but they've been very phenomenal on the men's side. So do you think the host nation will have some advantages? Let's take they are going to have the home court advantage where they will have the crowd to themselves and everything. But do you see them aside the home crowd advantage and the court advantage? Do you think they have anything else over the other teams?
Not at the moment. I don't. I think they are also one of those countries among those countries like South Sudan who are still building. Yes, they've played in a lot of. They've consistently qualified for the Afrobasket, but that they are still far below the curve for me to believe they can do anything significant at this Afrobasket. Maybe they'll be inspired and get as far as the quarterfinals, but yeah, further than that, I don't see it.
Okay, moving away from Cote d'Ivoire, we look at Guinea. Guinea is also coming into this tournament, and what's your take on Guinea as well? You still laugh. Why did it get
All
to
right.
Guinea and you started laughing?
No, man, I think, I don't know, man. like I said, man, who do you see them beating Nigeria?
You can never say never, never say never, never say never. No, you see,
Maybe they'll get.
maybe they'll get a win. They can get a win. Let's be sincere with ourselves. They can get a win. At
I
least they
think
can get a win.
I haven't followed them, so but like I don't know what they will come with, but I don't think they will think the team to right now. What I think any team looking at them wouldn't be afraid at the moment, but I think their team also that needs to put a lot of work into their structures as well. So until they do that, I don't think they'll get very far in this tournament.
My fellow Guineans, I believe in you guys, and I know you can do it. Before we move from the Afro basketball section, I want to list the groups for to my viewers to know the groups, how the teams are into the groups. So in Group A, we have the
How the
host nation. We have the host nation in Group A alongside with Egypt and Angola. It's three teams per pool. So yeah, and in Group B, I think we have Mali and we have Cameroon and we have South Sudan in Group B. Group C, we have Senegal, we have Uganda, and we have Guinea in that Group C. And in Group D, we have Almighty Nigeria and Mozambique. Then we have Rwanda as well. And the little
yeah, I
secret
think
is,
Group D is
yeah, Group D is a difficult group. Group D is going to be a very difficult group.
yeah, I think it's gonna be a very difficult group there, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the way the tournament's set up is like every team will have a chance to make it to the next round. So, but looking at the group stages, I think it's kind of telling which are the strong teams and
Hmm.
who will likely progress to all the
The
way to
next stage.
who will make it to the quarterfinals. I think
Yeah, let's not forget Senegal are the lead. They are the most decorated teams when it comes to trophy wise in Afrobasket. They've got 11, followed by Nigeria. Nigeria, who's got six, if I'm not mistaken, and they've been dominant for the past five tournaments. Yeah, so it's going to be a good thing. Congo, I think Congo has three, formerly of called Zaire.
yeah,
So we don't, yeah,
yeah. They are not there, so yeah. I
yeah,
mean,
they
yeah,
are not
but
there. So
you see, I don't think now. Yeah, I don't think at this point Nigeria's dominance is likely to be broken. I think yes, they are my favorite too. I would love to see a team like Senegal or Mali win it, but it's not happening.
yeah, as I always say, let's see. And predictions will be done after the tournament.
You see, I want
No,
to be wrong. I want.
is that come again?
I'm saying I want to be wrong until Nigeria is beaten. Then I'll accept. But other than I don't see it.
No,
I
no.
don't see it.
With all
Any
due
team.
respect, Nigeria is a powerhouse in terms of the women Afro basketball. Yeah, that one I won't disrespect them on that. I won't disrespect them on that. Yeah, Nigeria, Senegal, I respect. Yeah, those two teams are a powerhouse. But
Yeah.
let's not sleep on Angola. As you say, let's not sleep on Angola and Uganda as well. And Mali. Mali has been proving stubborn also.
Yeah.
So
No, no, no doubt. Yeah.
yeah.
True.
And
True.
Rwanda, Mozambique. Those are also teams that we should also look out
Yeah.
for.
That's why I said yeah. Them Rwanda, Uganda, Mozambique, and Angola.
Mm,
They'll probably battle it out for that fourth spot. They are the next teams after Nigeria, Senegal, and Mali.
yeah.
They will probably, yeah,
Yeah, let's see who leaves the new trophy for the Afro basket. Who will be the first country to leave that new trophy now? So moving away from the women's Afro basket, we'll get to our last segment of the day, which is the domestic leagues. As we always do, we've inculcated it into our schedules, whereby we talk about all the leagues across the African continent, whether being hidden under the sun or above the sun. We'll still find out
yeah,
information and bring it out to our viewers. So let's start with the VBL. the Viva Basketball League in Burundi.
The league in Burundi, yes.
Yeah, whereby they are in their final stages in the playoffs. And Almighty Dynamo is leading 2-1 in the series. They won yesterday and they are now leading the
Yes,
series
correct.
2-1 in the men's division. And in the ladies division, we've got Gladiators also winning Les
Yeah.
Hippo in the series 2-1 as well. What do you think about the playoff in Burundi?
Let's start with the men. I think Dynamo are my favorite to win it this year. They just look like they have a special team put together, and the additions that they made with Chinka Garba of Nigeria and who's this Tyrone Jeffrey from the United States.
Mhm.
I think they have a solid team. Also, an explosive point guard in Gebe Nijimbere,
My
who
man.
used to play
That's my
for
man all
Uduna.
day.
Yeah, so that man, yeah, and also the Cameroonian Etienne Tamatong, who was 24 points and 9 rebounds in the victory over Urunani.
Yeah.
So they have a pretty solid front and back court there. I think my money is on them. They'll probably win the series 4-2, in my opinion. Urunani, yes, they've got recently got Ate Majok. They've also got
Perry
Patrick
Parry.
McLean, who used to play for, yeah. Will Perry, I think, suffered an injury, so he's
Yeah,
not
stays out.
available for
But
them.
they've got
They got
Perry Parry.
Parish Pitt, yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
Perry
yes,
Parry Parish.
from who used to play for
Wireless, yeah.
City Oilers of Uganda in the road to Baal. So yeah, but just going back to Majok, he's a game changer for them. We've seen him throughout the BAL, a champion, a defensive player of the year.
Mm.
Yeah, maybe he might swing the game for them. But yeah, I think it's what I don't see it happening. I think Dynamo just have a very special team this year.
Okay, okay. And on the ladies' side, though we don't hear much of the ladies' side, but for all we know, Gladiators is leading the series 2-1, which
Yeah,
it's a good thing.
Gladiators. I think the exposure to continental tournament qualifiers last year has strengthened that team, and it's not surprising that they are leading the series 2-1. Although Les Hippos brought in some good recruits in Kenyan player Belinda Okot and who's this Dorcas Marondera from Zimbabwe to help strengthen the team. But Gladiators, I think, what will be back, will become champions again.
To our viewers, this game series and it's a two game seven series. It's a 7 game series, so only 3 games has been played so
Yeah,
far.
I
So
think, yeah,
yeah, so let's see what will happen in the rest of the 4 games. But for me, I think it's going to be tough on the men's side. I see the game going to game 6 or game 7 probably once again. Yeah, I see it getting to that stage once again. On the women's side, maybe I'll give it to Gladiators. As you said, continental qualifiers has sharpened their edges and they have become a solid team. So they play with a lot of chemistry and experience on the court as well. So yeah. Moving away from Burundi, we go to the Rwandan Basketball League, where Almighty APR is leading 3-1. Yesterday they won.
yeah. I think I think it's a wrap. This one more game, APR are gonna get it done. I think they still have a loaded team with Yusun Doi, Ntore Habimana, Jean-Jacques and Shoboza, Bioseni Mukiza, Tam Twister
Yeah.
there, and then
Israel
Excellent
Otobo.
Poyo,
Israel.
Israel Otobo. So, they still have a very strong team despite the loss of Aliou Diarra, who has gone to the NBA G League. I think he's joined, what's this club, Texas
Texas
Legends.
Legends. Yeah.
And yes, yes. And with Reg, I think the loss of Boissy, that's probably 20 points, yeah, where
Yeah,
you don't
that's
know which player will deliver that same kind of performance. He's moved on to the Windy City Bulls after being traded by Memphis Hustle. I think he was a fifth pick in the international G League draft.
big draft.
So, I mean, yeah, it's a wrap, man. I mean, APR have this one. They might as well start preparing for the BAL next year.
I don't know, but I have this feeling that this game will go to game 6. APR is going to win though, but I think they'll win in game six because I feel in game five, Reg is going to come back. Then maybe APR will take the game six because it's a 7 game series as well. So yeah, that's how I feel. APR is going to come back. They won't give up so easily. I feel they won't give up so easily. So
Not to say
I think they'll come back.
not to say they'll give up. I think the quality in APR's team and just
Yeah,
outweighs
it's
that
hands down.
of
Yeah.
Reg.
Mm.
Yeah, no, so that's why I think APR will be back again in the BAL next season.
Yeah, let's hope so. We see them coming back soon. Moving away from Rwanda, let's go to Congo, Kinshasa, where they are having the Lepro backing. I always have problem pronouncing it, but it's Lepro backing league. It's one of the provincial leagues. You see, so the Congo league is in a way that it's been played provincially. Then every winner, I think two winners from each province will
Okay.
meet up for the Coupe du Congo. That's the national. So the winner will be the one to represent
Okay.
France. So this is the one just in Kinshasa, where we've seen Maxi Shamba lead his team once again to the finals
Oh, okay.
against Maxi Shamba is playing for Teroy. If I'm getting the name, it's a francophone name, so it's called
Yeah.
Teroy. Yeah, so yeah, he's led his
Yeah.
team to the finals. Yeah, yesterday they won 85-67. And I think the other men's game is being played as we talk now. It's that it hasn't ended. And on the ladies side, we're going to have Hatari and CNSS in the finals as well. We all know CNSS, a very good team that came to
Yeah,
play the.
CNSS, they've played a lot on the continent. I think they'll probably come back to defend their title again and, qualify for the AWBL. I don't know which other team can compete against
No, no,
them.
no.
I mean, I don't know, one of the players, Marlene Ngobeleza, a very great player, shooting guard in for the also a national team player. So, I mean, Coach Adekoko has a very well oiled team, always has a very well oiled team domestically.
Mm.
So I think CNSS will be champions again on the
Yeah,
women's
yeah.
side.
From the results I've seen, they are beating their opponents by 50-point difference, 40-point difference. So I think they I'll go for them to win the overall Coupe de Congo. I see them winning the Coupe de Congo as well and coming back to the Women's Afro Basketball League. Sorry, African Women's Basketball League again.
Yes.
Let's shift our energy to Morocco, where all the dramas are happening. We saw
Yeah.
the throne cup, the fights in the wrestling and stuff
Yeah.
happening there.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, yeah, yeah. But it is what it is. It is what it is. So we saw the Throne Cup come to an end, where we saw Fuz the Rabat emerge as champions in the men's division, and RT Tanga also emerge as champions in the women's section. And yesterday, going back to their playoffs games, they resumed their playoffs games. Games were played yesterday to determine the teams that are making it to the semifinals. And my records here, the semifinalists are going to be AS Saleh, RI Tanga in the men's division. We have Fuz the Rabat and Mass Basketball. What do you make of this matchups in the
Yeah, I
semifinals?
think in the playoffs, I'm strongly leaning towards Fuz Rabat just from what we saw in the BAL. I don't think any other team is as competitive as they are. I mean, when you look at the quality of players like Nizre Zuzua from the Cote d'Ivoire, Jonathan Jordan, the American born player, and who's this? Also, local players like Abdel Hakim Zawita,
Hmm.
Ayub Nuhi, Sufyan Benmin. That's a good that's a good team right there. I don't know if any other team like Mars or IT or thing AS Saleh can, yes,
I think
defeat them.
Saleh is in a good place to defeat them. If you look
Yeah,
at things
why do
critically,
you say that?
and because AS Saleh has
Mhm.
been Fuz the Rabat's headache in Morocco. They've been the only team trying
Yeah,
to keep up to FUS Rabat, knowing that they have also got
Yeah,
a strong team, good players on the court. They also invest much as is FUS Rabat. I think
really.
it's just political wise. That's how they've also deemed a bit because we also saw them in the BL. They have also made an appearance in the BL, just that they've been quiet for a few times now. So yeah,
Yeah, I think we've seen. I think their record, Fuz Rabat, 18-1 loss. I think they are probably going in and also winning the Throne Cup. They will go in it with a heightened confidence and will also want to make up for the disappointment of the Bar, where they finished with a 3-3 record or 2-3 record,
they're in three.
and got yeah, and they were one of the best third place finishing teams in the BAL Kalahari
Yeah,
Conference, made it all the way to the quarterfinals. So, but it was a disappointing campaign for them. So they
yeah,
will want
six.
to make up for that in the domestic competition. So I don't think anybody will beat them right now. I think Fuzraba are the team in Morocco as we speak.
Yeah, we will bring all the updates to our viewers moving forward from the semifinals and all. So we're still waiting on the ladies team. The ladies team have not started their semifinals campaign yet, so yeah, we'll
Yeah,
see.
I think I'll go with Tangier on this one. According to what's this Afrobasket website,
Mm,
they are 21-0, so they are pretty much the strong team in Morocco, and they are also champions of Throne Cup champions, and I don't
mm.
see anybody as well, beating them in the playoffs.
Yeah, yeah. In the playoffs, I think they are meeting. Are meeting. Is it Fus de Rabat? Last time I checked, I think they are playing Fus de Rabat in the women's semi-final. So it's yet to start. We'll bring them our viewers the updates on our social media pages with the big
Okay.
tip off and on the Growing the Game podcast, Growing the Game page on IG. Yeah, moving from Morocco, let's go to Libya where the miracle, the wonders happened.
Yeah.
I really waited for this day to speak about this. The wonders actually happened. What we were expecting happened. And now the question is, are we going to have two teams from Libya participate in the BL? Because
As presently structured.
Almighty Libya, our African champions, won the BL and went to sleep and they lost the league to Al Ali Benghazi.
Yeah, as presently structured, the BAL only takes league champions. We as things stand, Lahli Tripoli will not be defending their title, so there will be a new BAL champion next year, unless the BAL and FIBA Africa say otherwise. But I think when you have your what's this again, it's about chemistry where maybe you could have kept one or two players maybe for that domestic championship so that they because they have what bonded well in the BAL, maybe they can also help with the club's domestic ambitions. That didn't happen, and Al Ahly Benghazi, who have been having a consistent team throughout the year, are the champions. Congratulations to Benghazi. They had a miracle run last year. Maybe they'll be the next team. They'll want to repeat or go one better. What match the feats of Al Ahly Tripoli. But also, I don't know if you've seen. I think Fuad Abu Chakra has also now left the team as
Yeah,
well
the team,
after
yeah,
the disappointment of
appointment.
the Leeds in the domestic. So,
Mm.
yeah, all they have to do now is just prepare for the Intercontinental Cup and, try and get themselves ready for the domestic league again next year.
As things look, I had high hopes for them going into the Intercontinental Cup, but as things stands now, sorry to say, I don't have any faith in Ali Tripoli because they are even struggling they lost their game in the Libyan Basketball Cup recently. That was yesterday. They lost the day before yesterday, sorry. They lost again to Al Nassr. Al Nassr, I think it was 87 to 81. Things are not looking too good for them. And now with the news of Abu Chakra leaving them, I think it's going to be a big blow for them.
Yeah.
I don't know. They've made a lot of
Yeah,
signings. They've made a lot of signings going into those domestic league. They signed
yeah. I
Chris
think
McCauley.
as
They
always,
signed Christian Vital, and they made the most expensive signing in Libya history. Most expensive signing in Libya history by bringing in Ali Haida from Lebanon, and still nothing is working out for them.
again, yeah, man, you can't buy chemistry. You know, that's, I think, one thing basketball or any other team sports teaches, that, players need to play for a long time together. I'd like to go back to Petro de Luanda and why they are consistent in continental championships. Why they are consistent domestically is because they have a core of domestic players playing together. You have your Yannick Morera, Childe Dundao, Glufat Buimba, what's this? Jason Domingos, who's this one, the muscular guy as well. Hmm,
Abubakar,
name escapes
Gaku,
me, but
Gaku,
Yeah, Kaku,
Gaku,
yes,
and
and
Castro.
Castro as well. Yeah, I mean, those are also potential. Those are guys that also are national team players as well. When you have a good core of seven players playing together consistently, and yes, you have to bring in two, three import players, then it makes life easy for any coach, because they know that you have players that you can depend on, that
Mm.
have what come through the ranks in the domestic league. So whereas other teams, I think that's where they fail, where they you don't have much faith in the domestic players, and you rely more on your imports.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
very sad. It's sad for Alali because it's going to be a big blow on them now, losing Abu Chakra as well, and things not going well for them heading into the Intercontinental Cup. But ish, what can I say? We just watch from our side and I just analyze what goes on in the world of basketball in Africa. So we wish them all the best.
Ah, that's sports, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, you win some, you lose some. So
listen.
yeah, that's the nature of sport. Yeah.
I don't want to make this statement, but I think we've seen them to be one of the worst champions, African champions, after winning the BL. Because I think they just prepared. Yeah, because as things stand now, it looks like they just prepared for the BL. They worked hard towards the
Yeah,
BL, and
exactly.
after the BL,
Yeah,
everything just
exactly.
the whole system just collapsed, and it's very bad
Yeah.
because it's
I
not good.
mean,
It's not good for a champion to win a title and not come back to defend it. I don't see that's not how a true champion should work. We know see Angola. Angola won it
yeah,
and came back to defend it. Went to the final and lost. This is a fight
I
of a
think, yeah,
champion.
every other team that's won the BAL has come back to defend it, from Zamalek, US Monastir, Petro de Luanda, and
No, I think we
well,
had Al
yeah,
Ali also. Al Ali from Egypt couldn't come back to
Al
defend their
Ahly,
title.
yes, correct, correct.
They didn't come
So
back to defend.
everybody has come back to defend the title. Yeah, sadly, yeah. Maybe, yeah, Al Ahly Tripoli just have to go back to the drawing board and ask
Mm,
themselves some serious questions about what went wrong this season.
yeah, it's tough. It's tough, but what can we say?
Yeah.
We wish them all the best, and yeah, we keep supporting African basketball the way it is. We will support them going to the FIBA International Intercontinental Cup, but I don't
It-
have hope in them
yeah.
anymore. I don't have enough. And to our viewers, if maybe we've not mentioned your league or anything concerning your basketball league in this podcast, we want you to know that we mainly focus on the playoff sections of the leagues because we can't bring all the league standings to you each and every week. So we focus on every league that is in the playoff stage. Then we talk about it moving forward. So sorry if you don't hear your league in the this podcast or something. The moment your league is in the playoff stage, we will be here to talk about it. And yeah, thank you, sir, for your time. It's a privilege having you on the episode 8 of Growing the Game podcast.
Always a pleasure, Kwaku. I appreciate the invite, man. And as always, keep growing the game.
Yeah, always we keep growing the game. Okay, thank you, cherished viewers, for your time once again. This is the end of episode 8 of Growing the Game podcast. And do also subscribe, follow us, and share. Don't miss out on any of our episodes. Stay in touch till we meet another time. Bye for now.
Cheers.